Imagine milking your cow one morning, and instead of milk, gold coins start falling. That's exactly what happened to Ramesh. But what happens next will shock you. In the heart of a peaceful village named Dolakpur, surrounded by green fields, tall palm trees, and tiny mud houses, lived a young man named Ramesh. He was about 28 years old, thin, simple, and always smiling. Ramesh didn't have much in life. His small hut stood near the edge of the village, beside a calm pond where lotus flowers floated. But even though he was poor, he never complained. Every morning, when the first ray of the sun touched the green fields, Ramesh would wake up, stretch his arms, and whisper, "Another beautiful day!" He lived with only one companion, his beloved cow, Gauri. Gauri was not just any cow. Her fur was white, like fresh milk, and her big brown eyes always looked calm, kind, and full of trust. Ramesh loved her like a friend. He often said, "If Gauri is happy, my world is happy." Every day, Ramesh would feed her, talk to her, and in return, she would give him milk. Thick, creamy milk that he sold in the nearby market. The few rupees he earned were enough to buy some rice, lentils, and jaggery. Life was simple, but it was peaceful. One morning, the sky was golden, and the breeze carried the smell of wet soil. Ramesh picked up his small steel pot and sat beside Gauri to milk her. He smiled and said softly, "Come on, Gauri, let's start our day." But when he pressed gently, something unusual happened. Instead of milk, a golden coin dropped into the pot with a cling. Ramesh blinked, thinking his eyes were playing tricks. He tried again. Another golden coin. Then another. "By Lord Krishna," he gasped, his heart pounding. "Am I dreaming?" He looked around. No one was there, only the soft chirping of birds. He touched the coin. It was real, heavy, bright, pure gold. He looked at Gauri in amazement. "Gauri, you just gave me gold?" The cow simply blinked her calm eyes, chewing slowly as if nothing had happened. Ramesh jumped up, laughing. "I'm rich! I can fix my roof! I can buy new clothes! I can even build a big barn for you, my dear Gauri!" That day, he couldn't stop smiling. Days passed, and every morning, when Ramesh milked Gauri, golden coins filled his pot. At first, he thanked her with love and fed her extra grass, talked to her sweetly, and cared for her like before. But slowly, something began to change inside him. He started waking up later. He stopped going to the market. He began counting his coins again and again, stacking them neatly in a wooden box. The once cheerful Ramesh started dreaming bigger. "I will buy land. I will buy 10 more cows. I will be the richest man in Dolakpur." He even began scolding Gauri. "Why so few coins today? You can do better." Gauri's gentle eyes seemed to dim. She ate less and moved softly as if she was sad. But Ramesh didn't notice. His eyes were filled with greed. One morning, when the sun was high and bright, Ramesh hurried to milk Gauri again. He imagined the golden clinking sound, the coins shining in the pot. But that morning, only milk came out. Plain white milk. Ramesh frowned. "What is this? Where is the gold?" He tried again, harder this time. Still milk. He shouted, "Gauri, what's wrong with you? You can't stop now." The poor cow looked at him with sad eyes. Ramesh got angry. "You useless creature," he shouted, kicking the wooden pot so that milk spilled on the ground. Gauri stepped back in fear. That night, Ramesh sat beside his box of gold coins. But for the first time, he didn't feel happy. The coins looked dull, lifeless. The silence of his hut felt heavy. He couldn't sleep. Gauri's soft moo echoed outside. A voice whispered in his heart, "You forgot love. You forgot gratitude." The next day, dark clouds covered Dolakpur. Thunder rolled, and the wind howled through the trees. Ramesh was sitting inside worried. He hadn't seen Gauri since morning. The storm grew stronger. Rain poured like a waterfall. Suddenly, he heard a faint sound, a desperate moo, coming from the direction of the pond. Without thinking, Ramesh grabbed a lantern and ran through the storm. His feet sank in the mud. Rain hit his face, but he kept running. Near the pond, half stuck in the muddy bank, was Gauri, trembling, soaked, and unable to move. "Gauri!" Ramesh shouted, tears mixing with rain. He pushed, pulled, and tried to lift her. "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry," he cried. After several minutes of struggle, he finally managed to help her stand. He covered her with his shawl and led her back home. Inside the hut, he dried her, fed her warm water, and sat beside her all night, whispering, "Please forgive me, my friend. You gave me everything, and I forgot who you are." The next morning, the storm had passed. The sky was clear and blue again. Birds chirped on wet branches. Ramesh woke up and saw Gauri standing near the doorway, calm and peaceful. She turned her head and mooed softly, a sound that felt like forgiveness. Ramesh smiled weakly. "No more gold, my dear. I just want you healthy and happy." He picked up the steel pot again, only to feed her fresh water. But as he looked into it, his eyes widened. Inside the pot lay one single golden coin. Not many, just one, but it shone brighter than ever before. Ramesh held it gently, tears rolling down his cheeks. "Thank you, Gauri. I understand now. True wealth isn't gold, it's love." From that day on, Ramesh changed completely. He stopped counting coins and started counting smiles. He rebuilt his small hut, but he also built a warm little barn for Gauri. He decorated it with marigold flowers and painted her name on the door. Children from the village often came to see the miracle cow, but Ramesh always told them, the real miracle is kindness. Gauri continued to give milk, rich, pure milk. And sometimes, just once in a while, when Ramesh patted her lovingly, a single golden coin would appear in the pot. Not every day, not every week, just enough to remind him of a simple truth. Love gives more than greed ever can. Sometimes, the richest hearts live in the simplest homes.